Hello, everyone. Welcome back, folks. And today we got quite a bit that we're looking at in the show terms of just everything going on right now. We got Starfield news. I got a little bit of that. Plus, I got 10 benefits of walkable cities. Plus, we also have our Area 51 Job of the Week, plus nnss news. We have a rumor from Amazon, as well as that's just a little bit of what we got. So let's dive into it, shall we? Start. All right, folks. This is the first story. Is Starfield delayed or not? Now, this is actually the main story here. Let's just cut to the chase. Is Starfield delayed? Officially, no. And to be fair to Microsoft and Bethesda Game Studios, they already told us we wouldn't be hearing anything out of Todd Howard's next epic role-playing game during Wednesday's Developer Direct Showcase. There's going to be a standalone showcase for Starfield at some point. Yada, yada, yada. Remember that during the Xbox Bethesda showcase last June, Microsoft more or less wrote an IOU to fans promising that Starfield would be among a large catalog of highly anticipated games launching in the first half of 2023. The updates we got Wednesday from Xbox and Bethesda on Wednesday on the show that first half of Microsoft's 2023 game calendar now looks kind of like so. April 18th, we're going to be seeing Minecraft Legends. May the 2nd, we'll be seeing Redfall. June the 20th, we will be now seeing Elder Scrolls Online, Necrom. And, of course, to be announced, but this year, Forza Motorsports. So, basically, they still haven't really updated when it's going to come out. They said at least May. It'd been pushed to the first half of 2023, along with Redfall, Microsoft during last year's E3. There's just no real solid, excellent news. And I'll link this page from Polygon in the link in the description down below. Next, basically, the next news about Starfield is they say there's a rumor. Now I don't know how accurate this rumor is, but they say it's playable in the full form from start to finish. That's a rumor. We're eagerly anticipating any news on the next Developer Direct here at Pure Xbox, a show that's set to focus solely on Bethesda's Starfield, while a huge open-world RPG feature in last week's showcase did launch. The game is due to launch this year, and a new article from Windows Central suggests that development is in its final stages in response to a leaked Starfield release date via PC storefront CD keys, a date that's apparently inaccurate and merely a placeholder. The outlet dropped some info on how the development's coming along at Bethesda. Here's where things are, according to WC. We have it on good authority that Starfield's launch date isn't yet set in stone. Speaking to us on condition of anonymity, trusted sources have told us that Starfield is now playable in full from start to finish. The game is truly vast, spanning multiple star systems, such as the polishing effort, is similarly gargantuan in nature. So, yeah, although development is reportedly in its final polishing stage, that rumored March 23rd, the March 23rd release date from CD Keys appears to be jumping the gun a bit. So, they're saying that it's finished. You know, there's a leak. Now, we don't know if this person got, you know, there really doesn't seem to be where they actually got it from. Well, I mean, they show where they got it, but, you know, it's an anonymous source. Is it finished? Or is there, you know, is it finished and they're just working on polish? Or is that an even bigger rumor? Like, what was their definition of, yeah, it's finished from start to finish? Does that just mean is that the main story? Is that everything? Are they still adding side quests? Are they still doing this, that, the other? Who knows? I'll leave that up to you to decide. So our next story is going to be something a little different, but it's, you know, something I'm quite passionate about. Here we got 10 social benefits of walkable places. This is an article from Public Square, CNU Journal, and Robert Stouchville. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Please correct me if I'm wrong. This was actually posted back in August of 21. So these are 10 social benefits of walkable cities. Now, you don't have to... I mean, it's common knowledge that just walking every day and staying in shape is already a big benefit. And, you know, it's more than likely, you know, right there, number 2 on the list, you know, well, it improves happiness and mental health, but it's number 3 down here. Number 1 would be promotes an active living for longer and better lives. Living in a walkable place that allows for activity built into each day benefits every age group and helps people to live longer. Walking to school promotes independence among children. Unfortunately, the number of children who walk to school has declined from about 50% to 50 years ago to less than 15% today, partly due to changes in the built environment. Regular walking cuts early mortality risk by up to 22%, according to a study cited by Alrup. Walk every day and keep the Reaper at bay. That's kind of a funny little saying. It improves happiness and your mental health. Now, this is, you know, it's number 2 for a reason, so listen to that. Great public space is like magic. It's almost happiness itself, said Enrique Penosa, former mayor of Bogota, Colombia. Not only is this a great quote, research seems to back it up. Walking raises endorphin levels, lowers stress-related cortisol, and helps people sleep better. The longer we drive to and from work, the less happy we are. One study found that a person with 1 hour commute has to earn 40% more to be as happy as somebody who walks to work. Maybe money can buy happiness, but so can living and working in a walkable town. It reduces obesity and chronic disease. Walking burns about 4 calories a minute. Regular strolls reduce the risk of diseases such as type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and colon cancer. A study of California cities showed that walkable street networks correlate with lower obesity, diabetes, asthma, and heart disease. Investing in walkable places can drastically improve a fit lifestyle, which increases resilience to health risks and reduces the number of people affected by chronic disease. Number 4, it would foster social interaction. So, yeah, you'd have to go out in the world and talk to people. I know for some of us who are on the introverted side of things, it can, just be difficult to just spark up a conversation with somebody. But sometimes, hey, sometimes it's beneficial if you go outside of your comfort zone a little bit. But ever have a nice conversation on the street with another driver or passenger in the car next to yours? That never seems to happen. No one ever stops at a traffic light and asks to borrow a jar of gray poopin'? Whatever. Or what about the asking to borrow the butter or milk? Or maybe a couple of eggs from next door? Yada, yada, yada. There's a reason why the new urbanism is known as the architecture of community. In a walkable environment, an intensified use of public spaces raises the frequency of information interactions between cities, building ties among neighbors. Arup notes the physical characteristics of streets can impact your social life. In a classic study, Donald Appleyard found that residents of streets with light and slow traffic had 3 times as many friends among neighbors as those living on busy roads. It saves lives on the street. Putting walking first helps slow down traffic speeds without necessarily lowering its flow, dramatically reducing the risk of road accidents. A street network that connects walkable neighborhoods reduces fatal automobile accidents by a factor of 3. By showing traffic and giving people transportation options like walking and biking, even simple changes can make a difference. Shortening crosswalk distances by 3 feet can reduce pedestrian crashes by 6%. Small things like that. Number 6, it tends to reduce crime. Safety in numbers. Eyes on the street kind of mentality. A term coined by Jane Jacobs to help discourage crime and keep people safe. Redesigning the urban environment to encourage walkability brings people in the streets and increases activity in public space, dramatically improving the perception of safety and individual confidence. In Rotterdam, Holland, community members identified traffic speed and pedestrian appearance as crime issues. Working with police to improve the public realm dramatically cuts crime over a period of 2 years. Drug crime dropped 30%, burglary by 22%, and vandalism by 31%. Hard to argue with those numbers. Number 7, it enhances the sense of place and community identity. Designing human-scale streets helps to boost genius loci. The unique character of a place, sense of place, is promoted by the feeling of an outdoor room, created by the dimensions of a main street that is rarely, if ever, achieved in modern single-use commercial districts. Urbanists joke that there are 2 big box stores placed across from one another, are so far apart that one can see the curvature of the earth. Conceiving the streets as a place for people rather than functional links for cars allows them to sense and shape those characteristics that make every place unique. Enhancing the sense of place can raise awareness around the local history, helping communities build a collective memory and cultural identity. An Irish study found that walkable neighborhoods have 80% more social capital. So that's always good. Number 8, broadens universal accessibility and encourages inclusiveness. Walking is the most democratic, accessible, and oldest mode of transport. Everyone at some point is a pedestrian. Successful public transportation generally begins and ends with a walking trip. Even those who generally drive will find themselves on a crosswalk from time to time, especially people without a car. Maybe they may be able to easily access their daily needs in a walkable community. Boosting walking helps to unlock the city for many of those who are in the most need. So, yeah. I mean, because let's face it, you still have, like, once you get to your destination, you still have to walk from the back of the parking lot to the front of the locale of which you're going to. You know, and this just cut out the middleman by having excellent public transportation. Doesn't necessarily have to be buses or 100% buses. Doesn't necessarily have to be 100% trains or light rail or trolleys or anything. It can be a combination of all of that, of which none of which has to be expensive, considering how much we spend on the military. Number 9, supports cultural incentives. Walkability is a driver for creativity. A pedestrian-friendly environment tends to support art and culture in the public realm. A good example is Porch Fest, a free festival of music that has been initiated in cities and towns across the U.S. and Canada. Porch Fest began in my neighborhood, Fall Creek in Ithaca, New York, in 2007. 2 women were inspired by neighbors playing music on their porch and decided to invite musicians throughout the neighborhood to play on a single Sunday afternoon. A cultural phenomenon was born. Not only that, you know, you get a whole bunch of other things. I mean, just coming up here in February, there's going to be a fire and ice festival, you know, ice carving sculptures in the streets of downtown Easton, Maryland. You know, fairly old city in the area, but definitely one very walkable. And they're going to close down the street, and, you know, I wish they do that probably more often. That would be interesting. I would probably make people go to this place more often. But I'll go there and I'll see what I can get myself into. Number 10, finally, promotes a vibrant urban experience. Human-scale streets tend to make street life thrive. Street life is enabled through urban design. Typical qualities of pedestrian environment, such as density of functions, active frontages, and complexity of use, deal with the creation of a vibrant experience where people have opportunities to socialize, enjoy sidewalk cafes, or shopping. Alrup explains, in short, a walkable environment can radically improve the urban experience. So, and he goes on, just in closing, I suppose, designing communities for more walking and enabling less driving does not determine anyone's health or well-being. To ensure that community is equitable and strong in community identity, but it is a factor with beneficial consequences in these areas during normal or pandemic times. To find out more, follow the links in this article, which I will link this article in the description, so you can continue this. And I mean, I know it's an old story, but still very relevant in today's world. Transition. And then we got our next, our job of the week, which I didn't do one last week, but this is our Area 51 job of the week. Just basically calling it job of the week because it sounds cool. But it is for Autodesk Civil 3D CAD designer or drafter master technologist. That's quite the mouthful. It is for the North Las Vegas location. Wink, wink, wink. There's currently just the one opening. It's just a technical support kind of a job, full time, obviously. Mission Support and Test Services LLC manages and operates the Nevada National Security Site for the U.S. National Nuclear Security Administration. Our mission is to help to ensure the security of the United States and its allies, providing yada, yada, yada. Responsibilities. So, continuing, MSTS offers our full-time employees highly competitive salaries, yada, yada, yada. Good medical. It's also a limited liability company consisting of Honeywell International Incorporated, Jacobs Engineering Group, and HII Nuclear Incorporated. And before you ask, yes, they have COVID-19 requirements for acetation or whatever. So you also get paid time off, 96 hours of paid holidays, relocation if located more than 75 miles from the work location, tuition existence, yada, yada, yada. They're seeking a master technologist that has an excellent working knowledge of Autodesk, Civil 3D. This position will require the use of software to create designs, drawings for construction projects, as well as create and modify survey points, point groups, 3D surfaces, alignments, features lines, plan and profiles, sections and pipe pressure networks, as well as corridors used to create civil design drawings. This position requires direct work with engineers and project engineers to create design packages. The successful candidate is able to work on multiple projects, maintain a high level of detail, work well with technical experts in management, adapt to project demands, and be capable of completing the workload with little oversight. So some of your key responsibilities, obviously, you must be able to use Autodesk, Civil 3D, AutoCAD software products, prepare, check engineering design documents, sketches, drawings, change notices, coordinate with multiple engineering disciplines, facility managers, project managers, project engineers, build team relations with technical and other company organizations, perform key site walk-downs as required, attend and actively participate in department meetings. Just a lot. And I'll link this job in the description down below. You also support some of your qualifications. Let's just jump into qualifications. You must have an associate degree plus 18 years progressive related experience or high school diploma plus 20 years of progressive related experience. Proficient in Autodesk, Civil 3D, and AutoCAD. Proficient in Faro Scene and Autodesk Recap preferred. Knowledge in the use of 3D scanner, preparation and performance of 3D scans, combining scans and creation of point clouds preferred. Familiar with the U.S. National Computer Aided Design Standards and its application. Primary location will be the Los Road facility in Las Vegas. Your work schedule will be about 4 10-hour, you get 4 10-hour day. I think it's 4 out of 10s, Monday through Thursday, subject to change, yada, yada, yada. So, I think it's 4 10-hour days on, 4 10-hour days off. Something like that is how they do it. I'm not 100% sure. But you must be pre-placement physical examination, which includes a drug screen. It's required by the MSTS. Maintain a substance abuse policy that includes a random drug testing. You must possess a valid driver's license. Why you need a driver's license, not just like any government-issued ID, it's beyond me. MSTS is required by the DOE directive to conduct pre-employment drug test and background review. That includes checks for personal references, yada, 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 credit, law enforcement records, employment, education verifications. Applicants offered employment with the MSTS are also subject to federal background investigation to meet requirements for access to classified information or matter of if the duties of the person require a DOE security clearance, substance abuse and illegal drug use. falsification of information, criminal activity, serious misconduct of other indicators of untrustworthiness can cause clearance to be denied or terminated by the DOE, resulting in the ability to perform duties assigned in the subsequent termination of employment. In addition, applicants of employment must be able to obtain and maintain a DOE Q-level security clearance, which requires U.S. citizenship of at least 18 years of age. Reference DOE Order 272.2, personal security. If you hold more than one citizenship, i.e. of the U.S. and of another country, your ability to obtain a security clearance may be impacted. Ugh. Okay. And Department of Security Q clearance position will be cleared to this level. Positions and tests for the absence of any illegal drug use defined by 10 CFR Part 707.4 workplace substance abuse programs at DoD sites will be conducted. Applicants selected will be subject to the federal background investigation, required to participate in the subsequent reinvestigations, and must meet eligibility requirements for access classification matter. Successful completion of counterintelligence evaluation, which may include counterintelligence scope polygraph examination. Oh my god, I can't read that fast. Jesus Christ. Ugh. Anyway, the MSTS is an equal opportunity affirmative action employer. All qualified applications will receive consideration for employment without regard of race, color, religion, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, national origin, disability, veteran status, or other characteristics protected by law. MSTS is a background screening, drug-free workplace. Annual salary for this position can be anywhere between $89,336, like to know where they got that number. Well, they can just round it up to something, to $134,014.40. Like I said, like to know where they get these numbers from. Starting salary is determined based on the position of market value, individual candidate education, and yes, before you say, you need to have the COVID-19 thing. Story. The next story is the Nevada National Security Site welcomes its first new fire engine in over 20 years. Wow. The Nevada National Security Site Fire and Rescue logo emblazoned atop a shiny bright red paint of the new fire engine sparkled in the morning sun as the new truck claimed its spot in Fire Station 1. Yep, so I think personally they should have put like an alien face on the side of it and put Area 51 somewhere on this truck. Which, I know, Area 51 is just one place on the nnss. And the whole nnss in itself has its own fire truck. Well, they've had, I think, fire rescue vehicles before. It's just that they recently bought a new one. Got a short little minute, 45-second video here for you guys to watch. And I think it's actually, you know, I haven't watched this video, so we'll watch it together.
Welcome to Fire Station 1 for our push-in ceremony. My name's Brian Dees. I'm the fire chief for FNR.
Very excited. It's the first brand new engine that the site has had in over 20 years.
It's a big day for fire and rescue. So I'm proud to be a part of the organization. I'm proud to be here today to be able to help push this vehicle in and put this new vehicle into service.
Oh, it does look really cool.
You know, I mean, to see the professionalism and the dedication of our fire protection people, and to see that they're excited because people need to have great equipment.
This was an outstanding event. The symbolicness of pushing in a new engine into the fire department. It's been a long time since we've had some new equipment. Getting this was a lot of hard work on a lot of people's parts, supply chain, you know, the indirect side of the house, working on trying to find the money so that we can procure this and supply it to our valuable firefighters. So this is an exciting day. This is a great day.
1,000 gallons, 1,500 GPMs, which gives us the fire flow that we need as we increase the mission out here, and the ops tempo is advantageous that we have a vehicle that's ready and capable to respond.
This is just the start. there's a lot of mutual aid that this department supports, and so it's critical not only to us but the surrounding communities that we have the type of equipment that we need for our firefighters.
This, in a way, is like a really great big hug here we're giving them, because we're giving them something that they need and they want, and that's great brand new equipment that they could use to continue to do the great work that they do on this site.
Okay. Well, that was interesting. I mean, not to like, they couldn't afford it. It's just one fire truck. And it's the government. The government can't afford one fire truck. You know what? It's hard to know what's going on with their budget out there on the nnss. I'll leave that be. You can make out what you feel about that. It's a pretty cool looking fire truck. 2022 Pierce Enforcer Type 1 structural engine. Yada yada yada. It's a pumper. So, yeah. Anyway, finally, I'm going to transition over to our last story. A rumor here about Amazon reportedly bought Tomb Raider for $600 million. So this is all we get. And I'll link this down in the description as well. Like I said, everything we'll talk about, links are in the description. This here, new rumor doing the rounds. Amazon apparently coughed up $600 million for the Tomb Raider franchise, which would include the games, movies, TV rights, merchandise, etc. The deal was apparently recently finalized by Embracer Group, which owns the Tomb Raider IP, after purchasing a number of Western studios formerly owned by Square Enix. If it turns out to be true, then it would be Amazon's second big purchase after acquiring the rights to Lord of the Rings series. Amazon is yet to confirm it, but Embracer Group, this from the source, Embracer Group, this is Fellowship from the Fans. Embracer Group just sold their Tomb Raider rights to Amazon for a deal which can excessively reveal as being approximately a $600 million overall package, making it Amazon's second biggest purchase after purchasing the television rights for the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. Therefore, this puts it in the perspective of the cost and prices that Embracer may be looking for. So, some interesting comments here. So much for Embracer saving these IPs from these monster companies. One person is saying about the same thing. One person says they paid too much. Oh yeah, thank God. Yeah. People are kind of on the fence. Mostly it's that $600 million price tag that Amazon reportedly paid for. Now, we don't know if this is accurate. Their only real source, I guess, is Fellowship of Fans. I can't really say that we can look too far in on it, of what we find from what's basically a forum website. And they have their own subreddit. So, a subreddit make their own website. So, they probably have better insider information than most people. So, I mean, I'd take it with a grain of salt, but at the same time, it might be accurate, might not. I'll leave that up to you to decide. I'll try to update if I do find out any more information. As of right now, this is really all I got. But that leaves us now down to our final thing that we'll talk about, and that is actually is Bob Lazar's autobiography, Dreamland. You can pick this up for like $21 or whatnot on Amazon. It is a fantastic book so far. It's got a foreword here by George Knapp, if you remember George Knapp being the man that broke the story of Bob Lazar back in '89. All those many years ago. Bob Lazar, as we all know, a famous man who claimed to work at Area 51. He's got his autobiography out. It is an excellent, excellent book. So, a lot of detail in here that Bob Lazar goes over. And as we all know, Bob Lazar sometimes has trouble talking publicly about certain things, but hopefully this book will help him explain everything that you might have a question on. But whether or not you believe him or not believe him, it's still a very interesting book. I suggest picking it up. It's only like $21 buying the hardcover. You can get it on, I think you can get it on Audible. You can get it on Audible, or you can get it on Amazon's online book thing. All that. I'll put the description for Amazon down in the description, but you can get it at a number of other places. Anywhere that sells books, you could probably get it. I mean, it's something to look at. So that's all I got for this week, or at least that's all I got for today. I know these aren't really a weekly, these little podcasts aren't really a weekly thing. They're kind of a whenever I get around. Usually, sometimes it's every other day, sometimes it's every day, and sometimes it's every other day. So, I'll try to keep more consistent on the videos I post. I'll try to actually keep up with stuff that I say that I'm posting and that I don't actually ever post. So yeah, that's all we have for you for right now, folks. Like I said, all the topics that we discussed today be found down in the links down below. Don't forget, like, subscribe, all that stuff. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye. See you later, folks.